should know her name. Too focused, she focused on her. Girl, you should know her name. Up late, grinding hard, she's a star. It's Paris, Miss Williams. It's Paris, Miss Williams. It's Paris, Miss Williams. Don't just know Miss Williams. It's Paris, Miss Williams. It's Paris, Miss Williams. It's Paris, Miss Williams. Don't just know she's telling you will heal my body, only soothe my body. All in the soap, all in the soap. Give me one of it's Paris, Miss Williams. It's Paris, Miss Williams. It's Paris, Miss Williams. It's Paris, Miss Williams.
Peace, 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 peace. What's up? Today we are going to be speaking about another Saturn's lesson, okay? But before we get into it, I just want to say that I will be on Brother Lloyd Stringhorn's channel tonight, live at 7 p.m. So if you want to come and show some love, all right, definitely pull up, pop up. I will definitely be on his channel. It's just a full circle moment. I remember coming home from Job Corps, and I just wanted knowledge of self. This is even before I really got into knowledge of self. I found Lloyd Strayhorn books at Barnes and Nobles, and I would sit there and I would read his books. You know, just for me to meet him in the flesh was insane. It was insane. It was like, wow, like I really met you. This is years ago, like before I even became who I am for real. He did a reading for me, and it was so detailed. Like I wish I still had that paper. You know, I really wish I still had that paper, because that paper was very, very deep. Like everything down to the T, down to like certain things that was kind of scary, you know, and you know, I'm gonna talk to him about that tonight. But anyway, I also will be on Brother King Simon's channel January 12th. So come pop up and see what's up here. Hold up. Do I have somebody coming on my channel on that day? Hold up. I gotta figure that out. But anyways, yes. So I'll be on King Simon's channel. Also, if you live in Georgia or you live around North Carolina, South Carolina, Alabama, wherever, if you want to pull up on me, all right, I will be in Georgia January 25th at the new Black Wall Street. Okay, so come pull up on me. I'll be having my books there. I'll be doing my book signing. If you want to take pictures with me, you know, you want to vibe out. If you want to get a reading, okay, the readings will be in person, so they will be a little bit more expensive because it will be in person. So I'll have cards there. All right. And please go get my book. If you can't make it to Georgia, please go check out my book. It is on Amazon. All right. Just put in Breaking Barriers by Paris Williams, and I will pop up. Please rate my book 5 stars so we could be able to get it on around the globe. Okay. Essentially, I do want, you know, people to be able to use this book for like long term. This book is not just a short-term book. It has a lot of great questions, and it makes you reflect on your relationships with people, where you're at, personal development, and that's the point of this book here. So very interesting. Okay, and this is my soap. This is my Udemy course. You can go on udemy.com and you will see my courses on there. Teach yourself how to tarot. You're going to see me pull up, buy it. We also have our Patreon. This is my website. All right. And please, 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 please sign up for the masterclass. It's coming up January 18th, 2025, 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to be doing the major arcanas. And this is Brother King Simon's books. Okay, go check him out. That's his link tree. He also has his books on Amazon. He is definitely a man. Like, if your friends ain't telling you to be better, then that's not your friends. That's not your friends, man. That is not your friends. Like, I'm so thankful to have people like Brother King Simon and Lloyd Strayhorn that really set the tone for me. You know, there was another brother. I don't know whatever happened to him, and if I find him, I don't know where he's at, but this guy, when I used to work at Nicholas Brooklyn, this guy used to come and touch the tree in front of the building, in front of Nicholas when we was downtown Brooklyn. And this guy read me like a book. This is before the internet was even the internet. He was like, yo, you gonna be lit on social media. He said social media is a thing. Like, this guy didn't use no cards. No cards, yo. Like, this guy was different. This guy was different. I don't know what his name is, but if I see him around, I hope that he's still around. Last time I saw him downtown Brooklyn, he kind of looked a little skinny. You know what I mean? I'm gonna ask Brother King Simon what's his name, because I know after a while he stopped coming to Nicholas, and I know why now, but that's another story for another day. All right. I love to see y'all in the chat. Okay, y'all ready? Y'all ready for today? Today's lesson is can't pour from an empty cup. Right? Protect your peace. And this is going to be a Saturn's lesson. I also have a category where you could also see the other Saturn lessons. And please, like, listen, because them shits is Saturn. Don't be playing. I got my handy dandy paperwork. All right. So we're going to talk about what is emotional intelligence, okay? Refers to the ability to understand, manage, effectively express one's own emotion, as well as the ability to recognize, understand, and influence the emotion of others. It plays a crucial role in personal, professional success as it affects how individuals navigate social complexities, handle conflicts, and make decisions. The concept of EI, emotional intelligence, is often divided into the following components. So let's speak about it. Self-awareness. The ability to recognize and understand your own emotions and how they affect your thoughts and behaviors includes understanding your strengths, weaknesses, and triggers. Self-reflection. The ability to control or redirect disruptive emotions and impulses involves staying calm, adaptable, and maintaining focus under stress. Motivation. An intrinsic drive to achieve goals for reasons beyond external awards. Involves being resilient and committed to personal professional growth. Empathy. The ability to understand and share the feelings of others, help in building stronger interpersonal relationships and responding appropriately to others. Emotional intelligence, before I even go into this, emotional intelligence is something that we need to understand when it comes down to you can't pour from an empty cup. Conflict, right? Conflict comes up and you have to understand and understand what is worth your time. Having emotional intelligence means that you have to be self-aware of where you're at in your life and also have discernment on who you are going to be around. You have to also understand where you're going. And that's why I broke down it in categories. Motivation. Having a reason why you're doing something here and being able to have building strong relationships that appropriately goes with where you're going. We can't build with people that have empty cups, because then what happens is that you're pouring into their cup, and then what happens to yours? That means that you have to build yourself up again. So me speaking about people like Lloyd Strayhorn, King Simon, people that have been in the game longer, right? Some people might take that as like they start getting a little intimidated by people like that, because they are, first off, scared of criticism. They're scared to grow. And there's nothing wrong with that. If somebody here is doing better than you, that's a great thing. But if you are the smartest person in the room, then that's not good. You're a big fish in a small pond. Okay? Recognizing that emotional intelligence influence your emotions, it also helps you build healthier relationships, improves decision making, enhances leadership skills, supports mental health and resilience. One prompt that I would like for you guys to understand, and you could write this down: how do you think emotional intelligence impacts personal and professional success? Having emotional intelligence plays a big role on not only your personal life, but it also plays a big role in your professional life as well. I love y'all. Self-awareness. Recognize your emotions and your effects to that emotional detachment. You need to understand where the person is at and where you're at. Self-regulation, managing your emotions, impulses, and adapting to change. Not everything needs to be responded to. Sometimes it's best to be quiet. And as much as that seems hard for a lot of people, I feel like we live in a world right now where we need to always explain and feel like we always have to prove ourselves. And that is actually the opposite. That's when you start to pour you start to pour into an empty cup, and you give them your ashe, you give them your water. How many of us subconsciously do this because we want to be recognized? We want people to love us. We want people to understand us. So what happens is that we come across people that don't understand, and then we basically give them our ashe. Self-regulation is so important. Managing your emotions, impulses, and adapting to change. Not everything needs a response. Not everything needs a response. That is emotional intelligence. Having discernment. Do you get what I'm saying, y'all? Do y'all get it? Motivation. When people tell you you can't do it, use that as motivation. That is emotional intelligence. Knowing that you can achieve your goals and maintain persistence, perseverance, empathy, understanding others' feelings and perspectives. Just because they don't understand you doesn't mean that you can't understand them. And that's where I wrote down specifically, you can't pour from an empty cup. You have to understand a lot of people are empty. They live day by day, giving their cup to their job, giving their cup to people that don't appreciate them. And that's where the empathy comes in. Social skills. Building and maintaining healthy interpersonal relationships. When you have healthy relationships, people understand the value of your time. People understand the value of your time. They don't overstep themselves. They don't ask for too much, and they don't ask for too little. They understand the time, because not every time you're going to speak to them. When you value somebody, you give them the space until they're ready. But when people don't have a cup, their cup is dry, they're looking for people to pour in them. Codependency. Ask yourself this question: which of these components do you think is most challenging to master, and why? Is it the self-awareness? Is it the self-regulation? Is it the motivation? Is it the empathy? Or is this the social skills, meaning building and maintaining healthy interpersonal relationships? Which one of these have been a challenge for you, and how can you master it? This is why I love my book. I want y'all to go on Amazon and get it. If you're not able to come to Georgia, if you can't come to Georgia, just wait so you can get a sign up, one that's personally signed from me. This is real things to answer. What is the most challenging for you? Being self-aware, recognizing your emotions and the effects that you have when people don't have a full cup. And now they want your emotions. So now they're pulling from you. Which one of these is very hard for you? Here's the benefits of emotional intelligence. Personal growth. Greater self-awareness leads to better self-esteem and clarity. When you build yourself up and your cup is full, you automatically understand the importance of reserving that cup. When two cups are full, it overflows. There's so much information, there's so much love, there's so much building to the point where you're not leaving the conversation, you're not leaving these people energetically drained. You don't have anxiety. You're not feeling drained. You don't have to worry. But if a person's cup is not full and your cup is full, then that means after you stop talking to that person, you have to go fill your cup again. So is that healthy? Is it healthy? No, it's not. It's not healthy. Nothing about that is healthy. That's why discernment is so important. I'm going to go over these key points again. I know I'm kind of going very fast. Conflict resolution. When you have conflict resolution, this comes down to the emotional intelligence part. You could be able to diffuse tensions and promote collaboration. That's if you want it. If you see the ability of understanding people and they value your time, then it's up to you if you want to deal with people or not. Leadership. Accountability. Being able to have leadership in situations where a person comes at you, their cup is empty. So now they're trying to fish to get some of your emotions so they could be able to go and get somebody else's, because this is a science. If they're not going to get it from you, they're going to get it from somebody else. Okay, but it's up to you to really understand how to go about conflict. First of all, you don't always have to engage right then and there. You wait it out, then respond if you want to. But when you respond in a most leadership position, understanding your social skills. One of my favorite sayings, and you guys know this, if you know it, you know it. Don't point the fingers, because there's always 4 more pointing back at you. I hit people with that. You know why? Because when somebody automatically starts to point the fingers and what I'm doing, I always ask, well, what are you doing? How many fingers is pointing back at you? That one saying makes people think. I'm pointing the fingers at you, but I got 4 more pointing back at me. That's why I don't blame people. I don't point the fingers. And if I'm giving you constructive criticism, it's coming from a sense of being sharp. I'm gonna write it down. I'm gonna meditate on it. I'm gonna think it out before I just say something. So when the person comes back at me and they try to hit me with the 1-2s, it's nothing personal. I have examples. That is social skills. That's being able to be a leader and being able to help them if they want to be helped. Some people are not willing to. And that goes to the last lesson about people they listen to respond. They don't listen to understand. So check that lesson out, because this goes right into this lesson. Excuse me. Give me a second. one of the prompts, and now what I could do is I could write these prompts down in the community board. To this one is, can you think of a time when emotional intelligence helped resolve a difficult situation? When you didn't go into fight or flight, but using your emotional intelligence to be able to deflect a situation. So let's get into the phrase, you can't pour from an empty cup. What does this mean? It means you need to take care of yourself first before you can effectively care for others. It emphasizes the importance of self-care, self-awareness, and emotional well-being as a prerequisite for supporting, helping, and connecting with others. How can I pour into you if I'm not taking care of myself? Self-awareness and self-regulation. To be emotionally intelligent, you must first understand and manage your own emotions. That's protecting your own peace. If you're overwhelmed, stressed, or emotionally drained, your ability to empathize, make sound decisions, or maintain healthy relationships diminishes. Example, a parent or a leader who neglects their own well-being may become irritable, impatient, or unempathetic, making it harder to connect with their children or team. Empathy comes up a lot when it comes down to emotional intelligence, because to be in that emotionally intelligent category, that means that you must have the highest empathy. Empathy requires energy and emotion and presence. If you're running on empty, you may struggle to genuinely understand or support others' emotions. So if you're empty, you're in survival mode. We're going to get into that in a minute. People who have empty cups are living in survival mode. Taking care of yourself ensures you have the emotional bandwidth to truly be there for others. Example, a friend who is burnt out may unintentionally distance themselves or give superficial advice even when their intentions are good. Emotional intelligence isn't just about responding to others. It's about creating balance. Neglecting your own needs can lead to burnout or resentment, which hinders long-term effectiveness in relationships. Self-care and self-compassion replenish your cup. EI involves motivation and the ability to bounce back from challenges. When your cup is empty, it is harder to stay motivated or resilient in the face of stress and adversity. Refilling your cup helps you maintain a positive outlook and a sense of purpose. Recognize when you are drained, guys. Use self-awareness to identify when you are emotionally and physically depleted. Prioritize self-care. Engage in activities that charge you up, like exercise, meditation, spending time in nature, grounding. You could also use grounding mats. I highly recommend that you guys get you a grounding mat. Okay, you could go it on Amazon. You could get you a grounding mat. That is a great way of self-care and prioritizing your self-care. Set boundaries. Protect your energy by saying no to excessive demands or toxic relationships. Okay, seek support. Allow yourself to lean on others when needed. No one has to fill their cup alone. Let's get into what is survival mode, because 9 times out of 10, a person that has an empty cup has lived in survival mode. Let's look into it. Excuse me. Gotta pull up my other notes. I printed this out, but I forgot to pull it up. Sorry, y'all. Living in survival mode means operating from a constant state of stress or fear, where your energy and focus are consumed by meeting your most basic needs or responding to perceived threats. In this state, your mind and body prioritize survival over thriving, making it difficult to plan or be able to be in the future, connect with others, or experience peace and joy. Key signs that you are living in survival mode: constant fight or flight responses, feeling anxious or on edge or hyper vigilant, difficulty relaxing as your body stays in a heightened state of alertness, focus on immediate needs, struggling to plan ahead or think long term, fixation on getting through the day rather than building towards the future. People who have empty cups is always looking for another come up. People who have an empty cup is always looking for another come up. That is survival mode. How can I get from you? And 9 times out of 10, when they're done with you, they go into the next person, and they go to the next person, and they go to the next person because their cup is half full. It's empty, but when they get to you, they're going to pull as much as they can from you until you realize that they're pulling from you, and then they go to the next person. Am I wrong about this? Am I wrong? That's why you have to protect your peace. Discernment. Emotional numbness or overwhelmed, feeling disconnected from emotions or overly reacted to stressors. People who have an empty cup is always instantly into overreacting because they need energy. They need you to they need you to react. They need you to respond. This is physical signs also that you live in a survival mode. In people that live in survival mode and you have a full cup, this is going to be some signs that the person is not full. These are some signs. You start to feel fatigued. You start getting headaches, tension, definitely in your back. How many of y'all have been around somebody? You good. And then as soon as you get around somebody here, your body hurts. Your back hurts. You start getting a headache. You start feeling anxiety. You might have digestive issues as well if you're living in survival mode. And I was living in Jersey, and they went up on my price and my rent. That last 2 months, that's when I started to get the GERD because I was living in survival. I would throw up. I couldn't eat. All of these symptoms is something here that I went through. Fatigue, headache, muscle tensions, digestive issues, sleep problems. If a person says, yeah, I can't sleep. Someone here has insomnia or oversleeping, check yourself. Self-assessment is important. That's why I made the book that I made, because it's self-awareness, self-assessment. You're able to really check in with yourself. And if I'm calling you out, I'm not calling you out to fuck you up. I'm here to show you that you're living in survival mode. Scarcity mindset. People that's always asking about money. And I'm throwing shots. Because, man, people always they always watching your money, man. I don't like that shit. People who always watching your money because they're worried about their money or their time and their resources, stay away from people like that. Those are people that have an empty cup. People who never feel like nothing is enough. People who have a full cup appreciate every little thing. They understand and value time. Gratitude. People that don't have no fucking water in their cup, they're always not happy. Nothing's never enough. They're miserable. And they want to bring you down with them. Their conversations are heavy. You can always tell somebody who has an empty cup because the conversations that they have. You could bring something up and then they go back to bringing something negative down. They bring you heavy. They bring you down. Strained relationships. Difficulty maintaining connections because survival modes leaves little energy for emotional intimacy. 9 times out of 10, people who have an empty cup, not saying because I don't have a lot of friendships, but I have a lot of alliances. Like you guys, y'all my alliances. So I don't fit in this category. Okay, I might not talk to y'all all the time, but we when we connect, we connect. But people who have an empty cup have a difficulty maintaining connections because survival mode leaves little energy for emotional intimacy. And remember when I spoke about having empathy, people who don't have a full cup they don't have empathy. Because they live in a survival mode, because they're trying to get, and they're never happy. Nothing is enough. Strained relationships also means reactive to communication or withdrawing from loved ones. It's never a balance here. Then they start to make you feel like you're the one, like something here's wrong with you. They're never stable. One time you could speak to them, and then the next time you don't talk to them, they don't talk, they don't contact you back. Those are not people that you need in your circle. Now, yes, 9 times out of 10, if you're a busy person, then you're busy. But you always make sure that when you value people, you're going to make sure that you get back to them. It might not be right then and there, but you always make sure you get back to them. But when you don't value people because you live in a survival mode, that's that low vibrational energy. I'm not going to get back to you. I'm going to leave you on red. I'm going to make you feel like shit because I feel like shit. What's the causes of survival mode? Unstable relationships, health issues, trauma. Past experience can leave you stuck in the survival pattern. That's why I speak a lot about changing our paradigm. That memory. The mind can't decipher the difference between now and what was a memory before. You might notice that people who live in survival mode never have unmet needs. Like they're always not addressing the big elephant in the room. They don't want to address it. They can't build because they don't have empathy. You don't want to sit down and counsel with me. You don't want to be able to have this conversation because you live in a survival mode. How to move out of survival mode. So if you feel like I I personally, you got some things to work on, that's fine. That's fine. But how do you get out of survival mode? First of all, regular system. Practice grounding techniques. Did I not speak about grounding earlier? Deep breathing, meditation, yoga. Engage in activities that make you feel safe and calm. Set small goals. Focus on managing steps to address challenges instead of feeling overwhelmed. People who have an empty cup, when you try to give them advice, like, why don't you make a vision board? They get quiet. Those are people that you want to stay away from. I told this person I'm having a vision board workshop. The person's living in survival mode. Never even tuned in. They never tuned in. They never made the vision board. Why? Stay away from people like that. Protect your peace. People like that want to stay in that. They're comfortable in that. They don't want no change. Don't try to change people that don't want to be changed. Protect your peace at all costs. You have a financial problem, let's start a business. It gets quiet. Stay away from those people. Celebrate your small wins, y'all. It builds confidence and momentum. The littlest things, be happy about. I'm thankful. A person that has a full cup understands the value of time. You hear me keep on saying that, right? Because I want to program that in your mind. Celebrate your small wins. Be thankful for every little thing that you do. Protecting your peace is prioritizing your self-care. Eating nutritious foods. Make sure you sleep. Make time for activities that brings you joy, that feeds your soul. Address the root causes of anything that makes you feel like you're living in survival mode. If that is therapy, if that's counseling, to process the trauma or stress. Shift to an abundant mindset. Practice gratitude journals. Focus on what you have rather than what you lack. Visualize vision boards. If you came across me, I'm an asset, not a liability. And that's not being cocky. That's being confident in myself. Because I study. That's how I meet the people that I meet, because I understand the importance. I've once lived in survival mode. And even though I'm not where I want to be, I understand that visualization will get me to where I need to go. I'm not going to settle and speak about the things I don't have. I'm going to speak about the accomplishments and the small wins, because that changes and shifts your perception and your mindset. People who can't give you anything are looking for something. Protect your peace. Visualize a life where you feel safe, secure, and abundant. Before I go to sleep, I visualize and a celebrity taught me this. she said to me, visualize where you want to be. And every night before you go to sleep, get deeper and deeper into that visualization. Today is the house. Tomorrow we're going inside the house. How does the house look? What color is the walls? How does it smell? Who's in the house with you? How many rooms do you have? How does the living room look? I visualized my soap room to the T. To the T. When I tell you I visualized exactly where I wanted to be, and I'm visualizing where I want to go now. Protect your peace. Make sure that you come across people that's worthy. Community, friends, people that are worthy of your time. People that are willing to pour into your cup, just like you're willing to pour into them. Build partnerships and alliances. Self-assessment, y'all. And don't hesitate to ask for help. Okay. So that is our this is our ending to our lesson, to our Saturn's lesson. I'll go over a few key components. When you're self-aware, I'm about to block this person. Sorry, Ken, but I can't help you. Sorry. Help yourself. Respectfully. To understand emotional intelligence, you need to be self-aware. To recognize and understand your own emotions. How do you feel? So let's break that down. If you go into a room and you don't feel welcome, how do you react? Understand your strengths, your weaknesses, and your triggers. That goes to another lesson that I had as far as your perception. It speaks about the reaction that you're going to get with that perceived thought. But if you have emotional intelligence, then you understand your perception and you're able to see things from a different point of view. This is a very big thing when it comes down to your success. Being able to enhance your emotional intelligence, being able to feel how you feel and learn how to adapt to that energy. What is the strengths? What is the weaknesses? And what is your triggers? Do you know your triggers? Sometimes you don't know until it hits you. Until you're in that room and you realize, oh shit, this is a trigger. But how do you react to that? Control and redirect disruptive emotions and impulsiveness. Not every reaction needs an reaction right then and there. Stay calm, adaptable, maintain your focus under stress. Remember where you're going, your motivation, your drive. Empathy, the ability to understand and share the feelings of others, helps in building strong interpersonal relationships and responding appropriately to others' emotions. But that takes time. If you're just now building and you understanding and understanding what triggers you, then you need some time to deflect that. If that means a day, 2 days, a week, do so. Take your time. Don't let nobody rush you. This is where social skills comes in. Having social skills, how to build a rapport and manage your relationships, includes communication and conflict resolution and teamwork. If you can't build with certain people, then they don't need to be around you. To wrap this up, remember that your self-care and your self-awareness is the most important. You can't pour from an empty cup, y'all, meaning that you have to make sure that you are good. That's not selfish. That's selfless. You must first understand and manage your own emotions. And if you feel overwhelmed, stressed, emotionally drained, maintain healthy boundaries and healthy relationships. If you're running on an empty cup, you may struggle to genuinely understand or support others' emotions. Learn how to say no and learn how to set your boundaries. Protect your peace. Please send this to a friend. Send this to your friend. Okay? Send it to auntie. Send it to uncle. Send it to everybody. Because everybody needs to learn about emotional intelligence. We all need to have better discernment. We all need to think about our actions and how it triggers us and how we go about our triggers. How do we react to our triggers? And 9 times out of 10, is these people worthy of our emotions, or are they trying to pull from your cup? Are they trying to get a reaction out of you so they could get your energy? Learn who is worthy or not. Because 9 times out of 10, the person that you're about to get into an argue with is irritable. Their cup is empty or halfway empty, and they need somebody to pull from. Set the boundaries. Set the tone. Make them sit with themselves. And if you want to talk back to them, you talk back to them. But if you don't want to, then you don't need to. Because what are they doing for you? How can we build? That's why they said have a rapport of friendships, healthy relationships that build and pour back into you, and you pour it back into each other, and the cups are overflowing. If the cups is not overflowing, then bitch, get the fuck out my way. What we doing? I don't want 60-40 relationships. I don't want 50-50 relationships. 100. Keep it 100 with me, and I'll keep it 100 with you. Stop thinking that every relationship is going to be peaches and cream. It's not going to be like that all the time. We need to have conversations that are uncomfortable, and you need to have friendships that are going to hold you accountable. If you don't want people to hold you accountable, then you are moving from an empty cup. If you can't take the realness, then you better stay with them people that live in a survival mode, because a real friend is going to hold you accountable. They're going to tell you some things that you're not going to want to hear, but it's going to help you. It's going to heal you. It's going to make you pour back into yourself. You don't want friends that's just going to sit there and let you fall apart. They see you drunk. They see you on drugs. I had friends When I was at my lowest, they entertained my shit. They entertained it. They let me fall. They recorded. 9 times out of 10, they recorded me when I was at my lowest. That's not friends. A real friend is going to get you up, going to make you have some water, going to put you in a cab, make sure that you got home safe, and they're going to make sure that you're good. They're going to tell you about yourself the next day. Not a person be like, oh man, you was fucked up, yo. You was fucked up. Yeah, we're going to have to go out again. No. There's something wrong, and you're not holding me accountable for my own shit. You're just watching me fall. We don't need that. We don't need people in our life that's going to be destructive. We need people that's going to reconstruct and build that foundation. Anywho, come check me out on Brothers Lord Strayhorn channel tonight. I'll be on there. And this is his channel, Numbers in You. Also, I'll be on Brother King Simon's page. And please go check out my newest book, Breaking Barriers, so you could be able to really reassess and self-assess. But like I said, if you're in Georgia, you're going to pull up on me, just wait. Just wait. Just wait. Get your shit signed. Or if you buy a book and you want to come pull up on me either in Brooklyn or in Georgia, come holler at me and I could sign it for you. All right. But until then, I'll speak to you guys later. It was amazing. It was this amazing show per usual. Go check out the other Saturn lessons as well, so you could be able to see how all of it kind of goes into one. All right. With that being said, I'll speak to you later. Clark, you're focusing on the wrong things, baby. Don't worry about my looks. Focus on the lesson. All right. Don't worry about how I look. Thank you, but no thank you. I don't need you telling me how I look. I know I look good.